Ian, also known as Lil Watermark, was a tremendously important person in this little niche online music community that we call E-CEL core. And it sounds like a stupid joking title because it is, but he felt very passionately about it, and he inspired a lot of people because of that. So I thought it'd be a good idea for everyone to hear from his friends that he made through this scene to show just how loved and admired he really was. I'd like to start off by saying a few things myself. I didn't know him for very long. I think maybe 5 months. It wasn't very long, but I feel like I've grown closer with him in that time more so than I have with guys who I've known for years. And that's because he was just such a genuine person. There was really no layers to peel back to see who he really was or what he really thought about things. He just wore his heart on his sleeve. And something I always admired about him, this community that we're both a part of, this music community, it's known for having, shut-ins and shy people who don't get out much, who don't have many real-life friends. But Watermark wasn't like that at all. He was outgoing. He was ambitious. He was a leader naturally. And I respected that a lot in him. I truly believe that had his life not been cut short, he would have been huge. He could have done anything he wanted. Could have been a mainstream punk rock star. He could have founded his own country, for crying out loud. I could see him doing that. He was an awesome guy, and he didn't let anything hold him back. In this life, you'll only meet a handful of people like Ian. And so I'm very glad that I got to spend as much time as I did with him, even if just over a screen, because he was truly something special. And I'll never forget him.
Hi, I'm Jack Maniac. I'm a musician who knew Ian. I've been friends with him for over 4 years now. Needless to say, the news of his passing broke me. Ian was a wonderfully unique person in the best possible way, and in his short time on Earth, he accomplished so much. He made incredible music, organized great shows, and brought people together. And he did it all with kindness. He brought folks together twice to celebrate the life of a man he only got to meet once. He was extremely funny and a source of light and levity in an often dark and divided scene. But beyond that, to me, he was a great friend. Throughout a year that has been incredibly dark for me, his friendship has been a light in my life. His constant advice and encouragement kept me looking forward and helped me through some of my toughest days. Now that he's gone, it feels like that light and hope has gone with him. I feel hollow and alone, and I will for a long time. But I know I'll be okay. He'd want me to keep pushing forward. On that note, I think there's a lesson we should take from Ian. We know not the day nor the hour. With that in mind, we should live our lives to the fullest while we have them. That's what he did, and that's how he accomplished so much in such little time. I know that's what he'd want me to do because of just how hard he worked to include me and get me out of my comfort zone. A few days before he passed, Ian told me via text that the primary reason he badgered me about attending shows like Steakfest was because he didn't want to see me left behind. He didn't want me to miss out on a great life experience just because it wasn't easy or convenient. His last Twitter post was him promoting my album. He believed in me until the very end, and now that he's gone, he'd want me to believe in myself. He loved everyone in his life, online or in person, and he'd want the same for all of us. So for his sake, believe in yourself, and go and live your life to the fullest. Share some of his light and kindness with others, so that it never dies. That's the best legacy one could ask for.
Lil Watermark was a super jovial, down to earth, nice, genuine dude. And it's something you really don't come across nowadays, especially. He was someone who he didn't have a bone to pick with anyone. He was just nice. He just wanted to talk to you. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow. Something that I really loved about him is just his passion for wanting to bring people together, play shows, make new songs, get better at guitar, write new stuff. Just hearing the optimism in his voice when we were planning Steak Fest, I remember saying to him, "You're so optimistic, dude." And talking to him was just a pleasure. It was nice to have a refreshing, positive voice. Um, there will be such a tremendous void left with his passing, and I will pray for the repose of his soul and rest in peace, Lil Watermark. You will be missed, and it really sucks that you're no longer with us.
I'm trying to remember who said this in the Discord earlier. I want to say it was Edgemaster, but Watermark was like the Chad like jock that would go sit with the losers, right? He made it. He would make anybody feel included and welcome. Like he carried his warm presence with him, and he always had such a positive attitude about everything. He was never, it's so over. He was always, we're so back and we're gonna be back and we're gonna keep growing. Like he cared about the music scene so much. It's like a driving force of just positive energy and motivation. And I miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. I think one of my favorite memories was when we played the show in Ohio, and that venue ended up being a drug den, and we all had to leave, and Kiki got left behind, and we had to go get Kiki, right? But everybody's freaking out, so me and Watermark are like, all right, let's go get him, let's go get him. And we're about 20 minutes away from the venue where Kiki's blowing up her phones, like, come get me, please, my phone's about to die, and everybody's stressed out. And I think one of us had a knife from the kitchen, 'cause none of us had a gun, and we're gonna go rescue our friend. We hop in the car and we're like racing down the road. We're going like 70 or 80 through these hills and freezing rain. And I remember us just manically laughing and joking together. Like, I feel so alive. Like, I miss that dude. I miss that dude, and I'll always I always think of how he performs and stuff like that whenever we perform and what he wanted for the scene. Um, and me and him just did this song, and his vocals are just incredible. I'm listening to his vocal tracks isolated, and he's got these screams that are just so powerful and so passionate. It just I can't listen to it without crying. God, that man, when he performed, you could see his heart was fully in it, you know. And I remember we were friends for so long until we met in person, but I was always telling you, you need to play live. You need to play live. Like, figure out a way to play live. And I remember when his first performance, he texted me and he was sending me messages. He was like, "Dude, I did it! I finally did it!" And he was like so excited. And he was like, "Man, I was like so in the zone, and like it just felt so great. I can't fucking wait to do this again." I remember watching the videos. I'm like, holy crap! Like, he was so good. He was so freaking good, and the crowd was just eating it up. And seeing him perform in person was like just crazy. This kid was a natural born performer. Like, God, just it's I don't know if I'll ever see anything like that again in my life. He was truly just something incredible, and I love that dude.
I was asked by Ofigs to say some words on the passing of Lil Watermark, and I can't imagine anybody having a bad opinion of the guy. I only talked to him for about the last few months of his life, but I always had a good conversation with him. Just a really genuine guy. I think his mother and father raised him very well. and I'm sorry that they had to bury their child. And we were discussing a lot, working together musically and playing shows. And it's really sad that I myself am included in this problem, that it takes something like this for everyone to come together in this scene or whatever it is. And it'll probably just go back to the same thing in a few months or weeks when this all washes over. But I want all the young E-CEL core fans that are hearing this to remember your life is very precious and it could end at any time. So don't take it for granted. This was a guy that had a lot of future plans for life. He's very excited for what he had planned, and it was all taken away in a matter of minutes. So just don't take life for granted. I know when you're young, it feels like everything's the end of the world, but it's the real things like this, that really matter. Like I said, I'm really sorry to his mother and father and the rest of his family members. He was just, I could tell he was raised right by them. He was a very polite young man. I'm sorry, just very kind. Like I said, you could tell he was raised right. I enjoyed his music. I got into that recently too. His P-Nice album I thought was very good, and I loved the new stuff he was working on that he sent me. And that's about all I have to say. It's just remember, life is it can end at any time, so I guess just live as much as you can while you're here, because just never know when it's your time to go. So rest in peace, Watermark.
Hi, my name is Eden. You might know me as Edgemaster42. I have a flight from Tel Aviv, Israel to New York City in about 3 weeks. I was supposed to visit America for the first time, and one of the things I was looking forward to the most in this trip was meeting my friend Ian, hanging out, playing music together. We were both excited for this, and now he's just gone, and I don't know what to think anymore. There are many things that made Ian stand out in the subculture that he was identified with, but perhaps the one thing that I took notice of the most was that while most other people in this scene are just totally miserable, myself included, I'm gonna take responsibility, he wasn't. And that made him a rare bastion of positive influence in a space that's mostly overrun by negativity and self-loathing and misery. And I admired that about him, and I was a little jealous of that, to be honest. You can be jealous of some bigger artists, big numbers on the screen, but when it came to Ian, something about his passion and hype for life was just so admirable, and it only makes his death all the more unnatural and baffling to me, because it just makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Usually when somebody passes away, a lot of people say all sorts of wishy-washy things that may or may not be true, maybe a little exaggerated about what kind of a person they are. They were a very good person, they touched a lot of people, this and that. And oftentimes it's just not true. But in Ian's case, I'm being totally genuine, and I think everyone who knew him would agree with me, totally honestly, that he was just a wonderful person who touched a lot of people. And I truly believe that people like him are the antidote to a lot of what's wrong with young people these days. The world needed more like him, not less. But regardless of all of that, to me he was a great friend, and I'll never have him back. I'm not going to hang out with him. He's not gonna show me America. We're not gonna play the song we made together. We're not gonna do anything together ever again. 'Cause he's just dead. He was a rock star through and through, and I'm sure he is in Hyperborea now, and he's with God. And see you, Space Cowboy.
So Ian's SoundCloud account came up on one of my notifications, so I clicked on it just to check it out, and I found his rap song "Bro Moment." It has some pretty good bars in. My favorite is boys' bathroom be badly tiled. Pope Francis likes to touch child. So I was like rolling over laughing at this rap video. So I sent him a DM and I asked him if he wanted to join the group music server that we were all in. And then over the next few years, he just kind of became everyone's friend. You know, like the people in that group, they all left, but Ian stuck around. He was always fun to talk to. I made music with him, and yeah, he was still around talking to people and making everyone laugh right up until the end. And you could ask everyone that he talked to about music and online, and I don't think any of them would have a single bad word to say about him.
What if Lil Watermark was called shit? Fuck! I left this somewhere.
I'd never been in like a community like before. I was in like the scene. Like I was kind of just like off the radar. I kind of just floated around like my same like high school friend group of like 4 people, and like the music was just like an interest, and I kind of just wanted to be in it, to be like a part of something, and I mostly just made music to like find a place in the community, to be able to be in the community, because honestly I kind of just enjoyed like talking to people like in the scene and like making friends and doing all that stuff, and the music was just kind of like an added thing.